Shalom. Now back again, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Yahweh being known, the heavenly Father, the creator of heaven and earth, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, the God which the scriptures speak of. And Yahushai is only begotten Son, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and the Rakakwadash, which is the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule while pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, helping to wake up and to seal the elect of the nation of Israel. And salutation to you, sincere Archimedes, that are pushing this gospel in righteousness and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Right, so what we're going to go into today, simply rebuke on open theism. And what I have here is the definition of open theism, which is open theism is the thesis that because God, it's a plantation Christian doctrine. Because God loves us and desires that we freely choose to reciprocate His love, His love, He has made His knowledge of and plans for the future conditional upon our actions. Though omniscient, God does not know what we will freely do in the future. So what is this going into? Free will. Basically, the belief that the Most High allows us to have free will, and then He does not understand or know what we are going to do with that free will in the future, which is basically this, which basically is saying that that we not only do we have free will, but also that the spirit of prophecy, which is to say things before they actually happen, does not exist. Because the Most High does not have 100% knowledge, or in fact any knowledge of human action, so He cannot accurately predict the future. This is what they are basically saying. I'm basically going into the fact that the Most High is not actually all-knowing. But what these people, these open theists, don't understand is that the Most High is the one that controls the actions of men, and we will get those precepts. You surely will. But first, let's understand what theism is. We know that theism goes back to the word theos, which is the Greek way of saying God. But the ism is the suffix, and let me read it for you right here. Ism, a suffix appearing in loan words from Greek, where it is used to form action nouns from verbs, baptism. On this model, used as a productive suffix in the foundation of nouns denoting action or practice, state or condition. So it is the practice. So it is the practice of what? Believing in the Most High, the doctrine of believing in a God, believing in a higher power. And in this case, we are monotheists, meaning that we believe in one higher power. More or less, because we also believe that Yahushua is also among the powers. So but that's beside the point. That's a lesson for another day. So let's quickly go into these precepts that we will use to cut open theism. So this is the first one, the book of Job chapter 4 and verse 12. Now a thing was secretly brought to me, and mine ear received a little thereof, in thoughts from the visions of the nights, when deep sleep falleth on men. Fear came upon me and trembling, which made all my bones to shake. Then a spirit passed before my face. The hairs of my flesh stood up. It stood still, but I could not discern the eyes thereof. An image was before my eyes. There was silence, and I heard the voice saying, this is the one I was looking for. This is the one I was looking for. So I have to find this. I thought that was it. He writeth his instructions in their hearts while they sleep. Okay, here it is. That's nice. Okay, I have to bear with me for a little bit. I think I got my precepts confused. Okay, here it is. Job chapter 33 verse 14. For power speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. And this is what these people have: pride, believing that they have actual free will, that the Most High is not the one that has control over the actions of men. I will get it as well. Because even the scripture says that what the Most High has dominion over the whole earth, and he giveth it to whomsoever he pleases. That is the book of Daniel chapter, I believe that's 4 and 7 or 7, or Daniel chapter 7. Now let me just go into it. Let me just type it in the letter. I can't remember the exact precept. Okay, Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. Alright, and it reads, so this is the book of Daniel chapter 4 verse 17, and it reads, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men. So the Most High is the one that rules in this kingdom of men, and the one that decides what happens upon the earth. And let me get another precept real quick. We're just going to be jumping from precept to precept, because what these Christians don't understand, that the Bible tells you there's no if, ands, or buts, there's no assuming. And then the funny thing is that these open theists, they'll never bring out any precepts to prove that the man has free will. But here I am bringing out multiple precepts showing that you do not have free will, because it is the Most High at the end of the day that decides what happens upon the earth. This is his movie. That's why he knows it from beginning to end. And there's no such thing as him not having knowledge of anything that happens upon this earth. Alright. Let me see, where is it? The book of Romans chapter 9. Sakya. I'm looking for it. There it is. Where is this? Who has resisted this? Here it is. The book of Romans chapter 9 verse 19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? That's right, because nobody can go against the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Everything that you do upon the earth follows the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. He created you to serve your purpose, to serve your lots upon the earth, and he continues here. Hath not the potter, he continues here and continue from verse 20. Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against power? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay, of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor, and another unto dishonor? So we are made in the image that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has for us. We are not given free will to do whatever we want upon the earth. That's basically chaos. I know what the scripture says, that the Most High is not the author of chaos, not the author of confusion. That everything must be done properly and in order. Those are two different precepts I just quoted. Because that is how it is meant to be. Our steps are ordered by the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and he's the one that controls our ways. He controls our goings and comings. So let me get that as well. So this is the book of Proverbs chapter 20 verse 24. Man's goings are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? So that's why these people out here, they don't know what they're. If you ask these people are claiming that they have free will, if you ask them what they're going to do in the future, they have no idea. Because your goings are of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Your goings are of the Most High power. He's the one that decides what you will do in the future. And these people are also saying now what the Most High doesn't know what is going to happen in the future, because he allegedly gave free will to men to do whatever they like, which is once again going off. But what do you expect from plantation Christianity? This it's like open theism, yeah. It is utter madness, it is folly, because the scriptures have very clearly told you that the Most High is the what does it say? The author and finisher of our faith. Do you know what that means? It means that everything that, okay, it says Yahushua here, but it is Yahushua that has been given that power through the Most High Yahweh. Everything that happens up to us on this earth, it is the Most High that decides it. So it's the book of Hebrews chapter 12 verse 2. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of power. So the Most High is the one who decides, the author and finisher of our faith, because he is the one who decides our fate. He's the one that gives us our lot to serve on the earth, before we perish, before we die. And that is basically what these open theists don't understand. They want to believe in free will. Basically, the reason why these Christians usually advocate free will is because because they don't understand the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua at the end of the day. They serve something, but they don't know what they are serving. But we know what we serve, and let me get that John 4 verse 22. Because it's a beautiful precept. It completely cuts plantation Christianity to the bone. So this is the book of John chapter 4 verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews, meaning the Israelites. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. And from verse 24, power is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. That's what we are bringing out. The spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We are bringing out this truth, this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding, telling you that free will is not real, and that the Most High is the one who decides all affairs that happen upon the earth. And I can go into more precepts, like for example, the precepts in the book of Amos chapter 3, where it says that shall the trumpet be blown, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushai hath not done it? Going into him, not just be having control of human life, of human lives and what we do upon this earth, but also having control of the elements, the wind, the seas, all the different factors that we use to exist on this planet. That's all the different factors that exist on this planet. He has control over everything, and he can do with it whatever he pleases. So I'm going to end it. This is also going to be a quick lesson, going in at it raw, because I just saw this thing and the spirit just jumped on me. I had to make a video about it. So all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Rakakwadash, and through the Spirit that we brothers were edified. Shalom.